And joining me exclusively tonight on the 9 o'clock news is the man whom the Delhi police reports to, the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Mr. Tejinder Khanna. Mr. Khanna, thank you so much for joining me. I'll also be joined in just a few minutes from now by Mr. Arun Jaitley, Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, and of course, keen Dilliwala and a lawyer as well. But let me go across first to Mr. Tejinder Khanna. Mr. Khanna, we heard the Home Minister say in Parliament today that intelligence was given to the Delhi police in July of a possible attack on the High Court. And we know, of course, that the explosion that happened in May here was being seen as a virtual dry run now by intelligence agencies. What happened? Was this a huge failure on the Delhi police, the Delhi administration's part?
Well, let me only say that even the last time when it happened, it was outside the boundary wall of the court and the secured premises of the Delhi High Court. This time again, it has been actually next to the Sher Shah Suri Marg entrance of gate number 5. Lots of people were gathered in queue to seek their entry passes into the High Court premises. And basically, there is police within also. There was general sort of patrolling and all going on. But I have always maintained in every single Republic Day address since I took charge that foremost priority is our security environment, and citizens of the capital also have to remain a little extra alert. It's not a Mufassil town.
No, but besides the people of Delhi, Mr. Khanna, the question is that actual intelligence. The Home Minister says intelligence was given to the Delhi police in July. So that's not something which the people of Delhi are responsible for. What about what the Delhi police should have done in response to this?
No, on this I'll only say that in all my discussion with the police commissioner, what happens is we keep on saying, have you received any actionable intelligence? You see, one intelligence would be of a general nature saying that this is a period when you might expect a possible strike. Right. And we all know that in about a month or so preceding all national events like Independence Day, Republic Day, yes, the police goes on very high alert and they maintain a very kind of heavy-duty patrolling on the streets and general security preparedness and so on and so forth, alert. So one becomes a more general kind of alert which is provided by the IB, yes, saying that this is a possibility that strikes may occur. Yes. The other is a very specific thing that they think a particular module from some agency which has come to their attention may be planning a targeted strike at some location.
Right.
For instance, whether it's Parliament House or Red Court or it's a particular target that is in view.
Yes. So you're saying, sir, basically that this intelligence was not actionable intelligence? This was a general warning, it wasn't actionable?
It was not, to my mind, anything specific, because I get my information really from the police commissioner, and they regularly attend daily meetings of the multi-agency center MAC established by the Home Ministry, right, under our distinguished Home Minister's leadership. And the multi-agency center is supposed to collate information from all information agencies which are collecting intelligence, whether it's military or civil, yes, and then they share it with the Delhi police. Of course, we are the national capital, plus others also who may be concerned. Yes. And no such information has ever been shared with me saying that specific intelligence has been received. In fact, they have been saying basically that in the last several weeks it's been more general and nothing very specific that they can begin to tail, right, and track down further.
Right. Well, what the Home Minister's statement in Parliament has been received very differently by people who heard that. But just to ask, forget about the intelligence for a moment. We couldn't have got a bigger warning than the fact that there was a dry run, a rehearsal, which in May, when there was a much less serious explosion at the Delhi High Court. After that, what steps had been taken? The former Chief Justice, Justice A.P. Shah, has pointed out that there are no CCTV cameras at the High Court as well, even now.
No, this we'll have to, of course, check with the Delhi police, because installation of cameras at vulnerable sites is something they are obliged to be undertaking. And there have been some decisions where they have covered something like 54 markets and various entry points and places of a lot of public congregation. But I think the Delhi High Court was not among the 54 so listed in the initial sanctions which were approved. But I'll check these details with the Delhi Police Commissioner also. And of course, we have been saying that we should have an entire city-wide coverage and do it at one go,
yes,
rather than piecemeal. And we need to really obviously expand that coverage much more than currently is in place.
Right, but you're saying the Delhi High Court wasn't a list of priority. The lawyers there pointing out that you already had a dry run there. How could it not be priority? Just a question, sir. Is there just too much red tape, too many agencies looking at the security of Delhi? The Delhi police report to you. You, of course, report to the Home Minister, the central government. The Delhi government, the elected chief minister, always complains that they have no control over the security of this city. Is there too much red tape, too many agencies involved?
No, there is no question of, see, I'll tell you, being a national capital, ultimately the final responsibility for, as best security arrangements as can be provided rests really with the union government. It cannot be with any subordinate authority. And I, of course, as Lieutenant Governor, act as the representative of the union government sitting in the national capital.
Yes.
So whatever is the security environment here remains under constant discussion between Delhi police, between the Lieutenant Governor to the extent that I am able to communicate and send my own recommendations,
yes,
and I have been doing so, and the Home Ministry. So saying that it should be brought within one or the other jurisdiction, it will always remain basically under the overall aegis and control and overall guidance of the Union Home Ministry. It's the national capital. It's not a state capital.
Well,
that it can be handed over to one or the other subordinate, executive agency.
Well, sir, it's interesting that you made the distinction saying it's not just a state capital, it's a national capital, and we know, of course, that this has happened so close to Parliament, to Rashtrapati Bhavan, to India Gate, but yet the whole response, the whole preparation really seems to have been very, very little. What would you really say? I mean, I know that you've been focusing on internal security, you've had many presentations over the last 2 years. Is the response then adequate, given what we know about the significance of it being the national capital and the location of this explosion?
No, I would only say this, that it has been not now, but almost for the last few years now, I have maintained that we should have a very careful security review of security audit of every single vulnerable site, important buildings, iconic buildings, government, buildings where a lot of major transactions are happening, our ministries in North Block, South Block and others. And this security audit should be an independent professional audit by people who know about security. Right. And basically once the gaps are found out, they should be plugged.
Mm-hmm. But then why hasn't it happened, sir? Where's the roadblock? I mean, we seem to know the solution, but where is the roadblock in implementing this?
Well, basically, like, these are matters which one can, place before appropriate authorities and so on and so forth, and then they have to take it forward because, as I said, at the end of the day, all of these decisions are taken at, appropriate levels involving the ministries and so on and so forth. But definitely, I feel that there is need to have a total comprehensive coverage of security arrangements in the national capital, yes, including all our major entry points and whatever is going on, and a lot of electronic surveillance, which is really the way the mega city security works. Yes. So I think we need to travel quite a distance in that direction.
Well, I mean, I think that's something everybody would agree on, and tragically today we've seen the consequences of that. But finally, sir, NDTV has received an email from the Pakistan-based group Huji claiming responsibility, and they've linked it to Afzal Guru and his death sentence. Now, of course, this has not been verified. The NIA said they're investigating it. But what do you feel? I mean, we know earlier some Delhi politicians had raised the worry about law and order being an issue if that death sentence is carried out. What do you feel? What should our response be at this point?
Well, all I can say is that, one can argue these things and say that this may happen if this is done. But at the end of the day, I personally feel the law must take its course, and one has to face consequences as, they arise. In the sense, I would only say that government should never act out of a fear complex.